a day in Mars would be. Hey everyone, Business Society welcomes you back with yet another great video. Today's video will tell you about a day on Mars. Keep watching the video so you don't miss out on the information regarding the planet and life in it. Before we begin, don't forget to smash the subscribe button and the notification bell icon to get the regular notifications on the new uploads. Here we go. The idea of living on Mars has been a staple of science fiction since the 19th century, when American astronomer Percival Lowell speculated that the channels on the Red Planet were really ancient canals built by intelligent extraterrestrials. But if this sci-fi dream were to ever become reality, what would it be like to actually live on Mars? NASA is now planning for a manned mission to Mars, which is slated for the 2030s. It's unknown where astronauts will land on Mars for that mission, but for a future Martian space colony, you'd probably want a permanent base somewhere in the low northern latitudes. Ashwin Vasavada, a deputy project scientist for NASA's Mars Science Laboratory, told Space.com. Like Earth, Mars has seasons due to the planet's tilt upon its axis, but it also has a secondary seasonal effect because of its highly elliptical orbit. The southern hemisphere is pointed away from the sun when the planet is farthest from it, resulting in far colder winters and far hotter summers than those in the northern hemisphere. If you were to live in the northern hemisphere, you'd enjoy about 7 months of spring, 6 months of summer, a little more than 5 months of fall, and only about 4 months of winter. A year on Mars is about 1.88 Earth years, and a day lasts a little more than 24 hours. The average temperature on Mars is minus 80 degrees Fahrenheit, that's minus 60 degrees Celsius, but temperatures can range from minus 195 degrees Fahrenheit, minus 126 degrees Celsius in winter near the poles, to 68 degrees Fahrenheit or 20 degrees Celsius during summer near the equator. The temperatures can also change dramatically within a single week. Mars's temperature variations often result in powerful dust storms, which can sometimes shroud the entire planet after just a few days. Though these storms probably wouldn't physically harm you, the dust could clog electronics and interfere with solar-powered instruments, Vasavada said. The number one thing an astronaut would be worried about is the radiation from space, Vasavada said. Unlike Earth, Mars doesn't have a global magnetic field and thick atmosphere to protect its surface from radiation. If you were to experience some unfortunate incident, a message sent home to Earth would take an average of 15 minutes to get there. While not terribly long, it's definitely annoying enough that it'd be hard to Skype with anybody, Vasavada said. With these clear skies, the Martian night is full of stars. Amateur astronomers would want to look out for Mars's moons, Deimos and Phobos, which can come out at the same time. These satellites, both of which are far smaller than Earth's moon, can also partially eclipse the sun during the day. The daytime sky generally has an orange tint to it because of all the dust, Vasavada said. Sunrise and sunsets look similar to those on Earth during a very hazy day, except that the area around the sun is blue. The surface of Mars offers up a few great opportunities for sightseeing. If we were to completely colonize Mars, there are certainly places that would become national parks, Vasavada said. For example, Olympus Mons is the tallest volcano in the solar system, reaching 16 miles or 25 kilometers above its surrounding plains. Valles Marineris, on the other hand, is a giant system of valleys about the distance from Los Angeles to New York. And you'd also probably want to visit the Viking landers and Mars's tremendous polar ice caps, which sometimes get dry ice snowfall, Vasavada said. But with a gravity that's only 38% of Earth's, getting round on Mars would be challenging at first. Running and fast movements would probably take quite a bit of relearning, Vasavada said, but it'd be better than moving around on the moon. The most practical strategy for long stays on Mars involves living off resources that already exist on the Red Planet instead of relying on resupply ships from Earth. The 5 major consumable resources that researchers identified Martian settlements would need include energy, water, oxygen, construction material, and food. And the first 4 are potentially abundant on Mars. There is no food naturally available on Mars, and there's no easy way to create it from any raw materials on the Red Planet using, say, a simple chemical reactor, the researchers said. Food is probably going to be the hardest thing to make locally on Mars, and you can't just import it all if you want to have a self-sufficient settlement. Study lead author Kevin Cannon, a planetary scientist at the University of Central Florida in Orlando, told Space.com. Access to energy is arguably the most important indicator of a civilization's development. On Mars, having access to energy can mean the difference between life and death. Not only is it necessary to power life support systems, but it is also used for ISRU and for any other conceivable activity. Some processes require mostly thermal energy, such as the smelting of iron ore or melting ice. However, most require electrical energy. Nuclear, solar, geothermal, and wind energy will all likely see use on Mars, applied in various proportions depending on geographical location, available industrial base, and demand. However, the need for adaptability and resilience extends not only to the technology, but to future Martians themselves. So, a day on Mars looks really difficult compared to Earth. With this, I'm concluding the video. I hope you enjoyed watching. Make sure you're subscribed to Business Society, and if you're looking forward to knowing more about life on Mars, then stay tuned for more videos and news like this.